Hello. So, I'd like to give you more hints and tips on what to talk about at a business networking event. So, we do have questions on the table, and those questions might be what inspired you to get into this field of work, or what do you wish you knew when you were starting out in business? What was your most rewarding project? Can you share a challenging situation you overcame? What do you consider to be your expertise? The thing is to remember that when you're at a networking event is to make sure that you're asking open questions. You do not want to be asking questions that require a yes or no. And the purpose of a networking event is to get to know people on a deeper level. So when you ask the question, don't ask it with what you're planning to say in mind. Ask it with the intent of listening and understanding. That is so important when you go to a networking event. And what we say at the beginning of each event is listen and understand the person who is speaking. That's really important. So we have six business people around a table, and those people each have 3 minutes to speak. And as I say, they speak about many different things, but we provide them with questions. So we also provide them with light-hearted personal questions. So those questions might be, are you planning to go away on holiday at all over the Christmas period, or are you planning to go away on a summer break? Um, who do you like listening to on a podcast, for example? I mean, when I was asked that question, I was like, podcast? Obviously, I know what they are now, but it was a bit of a question right at the time. What book are you reading right now? That's a good one for me. I always love reading. So, yeah, I read a variety of books, quite a lot of self-help books, but also a lot of fictional books. I did like history, but now, or the fictional history, but now I'm moving on to dragons and witches, actually, and I'm finding that quite exciting. But I do like a good Dan Brown novel as well. So, if you know anyone who writes like him, that would be amazing because I've read all of his books and then I just can't wait for the next one. So, a good one, asking questions where maybe you can help them. How can I help you meet your goals? I mean, maybe to start off with, it would be, what are your goals? Or maybe where do you see yourself in 5 years? I mean, this was quite a funny one actually, because somebody said it to Chris and I at a networking event. Chris and Laura are my business partners. And I was thinking, well, we'd be nationwide in England and we'll have so many franchises. And Chris said, well, the model is so brilliant and it works for another networking group in Thailand and America. And I was like, "Wow, so we're gonna be in Thailand. Amazing. Can't wait to be there." So that, is really, really a good thing to ask because you're even shocked by what your business partners say. Um, Maybe one of the questions you could ask is, "Who else at this event would you like to meet?" Because maybe you're a seasoned networker and you know the people in the room, so you could introduce them, give them a personal introduction to someone, which would be really, really helpful. So, you can ask sort of different questions, personal, light-hearted questions. I mean, one of the questions I remember we put on the table was, "What was your first car?" And it was really surprising how many people had the same first car. And then you then feel that synergy with them. So it's yeah, that's quite a good one to ask. And asking where they've been on holiday, where they've traveled to. People love talking about where they've traveled to. Some people just prefer to travel, in the UK, and the UK is such an amazing country that I think that's fab as well. So we have quite a few travel representatives in the room, so it's really good to be able to talk about all of that with them. Maybe you've got people in the room that are not running their own business or not directors of a large business. We have an awful lot of decision makers come to our networking, but we also have quite a lot of staff coming in because our events are brilliant for training staff and for staff development. So it's great to ask questions that maybe are to do with career rather than the actual job that someone does or the business that they own. So that's also good as well because there's a lot of people that maybe come along who are looking for a career in different field. I know that we have one gentleman, he comes along and he's looking to be an engineer, and at the moment he's working elsewhere, but he's looking to move into a field of everything that he got his degree in. So that would be amazing if we can help him find his engineering role. So that's it from me. So I hope that gave you some useful information, and I look forward to seeing you again in my next recording. Okay, have a fab day.